Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are literally blasting off on a cosmic adventure to discover the secrets of our closest celestial neighbor. I mean, we look up at it almost every single night, right? But how much do we actually know about that glowing orb in the sky? Today, we're going to explore some really fun science facts, uncover incredible historical stories, and learn how just looking up at the stars can actually make us feel a whole lot calmer down here on Earth. Okay, let's dive right into it. Look at that giant number. 384,400 kilometers. That is exactly how far away the moon is from Earth, just floating quietly out there in the dark. To put that massive distance into perspective, if you could somehow hop in a car and drive straight up into space at highway speeds, it would take you over 5 months of nonstop driving just to reach it. But here's the crazy part. Did you know this silent rock actually controls our oceans? It's true. It might look like just a peaceful, floating stone, but it has some serious gravitational superpowers that impact our everyday lives down here. We so often think of space as being completely disconnected from our daily routines, but the moon is basically holding things together for us in ways you probably didn't even realize. Section 1, the moon's hidden superpowers. So here's something wild. The moon is basically a giant space mirror reflecting the sun's rays down to us. Unlike the sun, the moon is just a rocky, dusty place that produces absolutely zero light of its own. Nada. It's super fascinating because the Qur'an actually pointed this out over 1,400 years ago, describing the sun as a shining light and the moon as a reflected light. So, next time the moon is lighting up your backyard at night, just remember, you're actually seeing recycled sunshine. And as the moon travels around Earth, we see different lit-up portions of it, creating this beautiful sequential journey of phases. Now, the moon itself isn't actually changing shape. Half of it is always perfectly illuminated by the sun. But because the moon is constantly orbiting us, our viewing angle keeps changing. That's exactly why we get everything from a tiny sliver of a crescent to a massive, bright full moon. It is just spectacular geometry in motion. Okay, but here's the absolute game changer. Without the moon pulling on our oceans and stabilizing our spin, Earth's weather would be totally out of control. Because water responds so easily to gravity, the moon literally pulls the ocean water towards it, creating what scientists call a tidal bulge. As the Earth spins, our coastlines crash into these bulges, which is what gives us our daily high and low tides. But even cooler, the moon acts like a massive cosmic anchor. Earth tilts at an angle of 23.5 degrees, which gives us our seasons, right? Well, without the moon keeping that tilt steady, the Earth would wobble like a broken spinning top, causing chaotic, completely wild climate swings. Section 2, Eclipses, Science and Faith. So, a solar eclipse. It is easily one of nature's most breathtaking spectacles. The moon is about 400 times smaller than the sun, but, get this, it's also exactly 400 times closer to Earth. Because of this mind-blowing mathematical coincidence, the moon can perfectly cover the sun's visible disk. Now, for thousands of years, people were terrified of eclipses. They thought it meant the gods were angry or that a giant space monster was eating the sun. Seriously, they made up all sorts of myths. But a very famous historical event completely changed that narrative. The Prophet Muhammad actually said these wise words during a solar eclipse on the exact day his young son tragically passed away. The people around him immediately assumed the sun had darkened because it was mourning the death of the Prophet's son. But rather than letting them believe this superstition, he brilliantly debunked it right on the spot. He told them that eclipses run on divine mathematical order, not on human tragedy. I just love this. This historical anecdote perfectly illustrates the harmony between faith and science. It encourages us to observe nature with wonder, not worry. Instead of hiding in fear, people were encouraged to pray, reflect, and really appreciate the incredible clockwork mechanics of our solar system. Which brings us to Section 3, Nature's Giant Space Clock. You know, long before smartwatches or wall clocks, humanity used the sky to keep time. And today, the moon acts as a giant, reliable space clock that organizes life for over 1 billion Muslims. The lunar cycle takes about 29.5 days. For centuries, this reliable pattern in the sky has dictated agricultural cycles, navigation, and vital religious observances. When that new crescent moon is sighted, it acts as a cosmic alarm clock, signaling times of fasting for Ramadan, the joyous celebration of Eid, and the global pilgrimage of Hajj.
In fact, the Qur'an actually invites us to study the moon's phases. It presents the moon as an ayah, which means a sign, pointing to an incredibly organized universe. It's not just a random rock out there. It's a functioning tool placed there for us to use, to measure time, and to better understand our place in the cosmos.
And finally, Section 4, Finding Peace in the Stars. So how does looking at a giant rock in space actually help us feel better when we're stressed out or worried? Well, in Islamic tradition, there are these amazing concepts known as dhikr, which means remembering God, and tafakkur, which is deep, deliberate contemplation of the universe. When we actually take a moment to look up at the vast sky, watch the moon, and practice this kind of mindful breathing and reflection, it acts like an absolute superpower for an anxious mind. And guess what? Modern clinical psychology actually backs this up completely. Studies show that mindful breathing and spiritual reflection activate our parasympathetic nervous system. That's the part of your body that literally tells you to relax and calm down. Think about it. Just as the moon's gravity stabilizes the Earth from wobbling out of control, practicing this kind of mindfulness stabilizes our emotions. It slows our heart rate, releases muscle tension, and brings us out of our stressful, racing thoughts right back into the present moment. And this brilliantly illustrates that hitting pause to reflect on creation isn't just, a religious checkbox. It's a scientifically backed way to find real, tangible peace. When you focus on something so huge, so ancient, and so perfectly ordered as the moon, your own daily worries suddenly feel a lot more manageable. You remember that you are part of a much grander, perfectly designed system. Ultimately, the universe is not just full of cold, hard data. It's a book of signs waiting to be read. Every crescent, every ocean tide, and every spectacular eclipse is an invitation. An invitation to learn the science of our universe, to take a deep breath when we're totally stressed out, and to remember our connection to something much, much bigger than ourselves. Science explains the mechanism of exactly how these things work, but faith and mindfulness, they reveal the profound meaning behind them. So here is my question for you. Tonight, when you step outside and look up at the moon, what signs will you discover? The next time you see that bright, glowing sphere in the night sky, please don't just walk past it. Take a second, take a deep breath. Remember its hidden superpowers, its incredible history, and its calming presence. Go outside, look up, and let your curiosity soar. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.